I know you see a lot of jokes and memes about realtors making fun of people who try to sell for sale by owner. Frankly, it's insulting and it's condescending and it's pretty arrogant, to be real. There are plenty of people who sell by owner without a realtor and have no trouble. A big chunk of my audience is people who don't want to engage a realtor. That's why they listen. That's why they learn. It's the DIY champion culture. And I, for one, am a huge fan. When you sell by owner, it is pretty clear what you're after. Number one, you're trying to avoid paying a 6% commission to an agent who may or may not bring any value to the entire process. But the other thing that we find that most sellers want, besides saving the money, is they want control over the process. Many times a traditional agent will roll in, and I don't care if they did one deal 4 years ago, they're now the Western Hemisphere's foremost expert on real estate on your block. And just they're going to push these sellers out of the way in many cases and try to take over. Well, we find, even as experienced as we are, our sellers always have something to bring to the party. And the more engaged they are, the more successful they are, without fail. So that's what sellers want. So the problem with that is, where do you advertise your for sale by owner? Stick a sign in the yard, and that will take care of anybody who's local. But when realtors get surveys out, one of the questions they always ask is, hey, how did you find the house that you bought? And in almost every case, they found it on the web. Okay, so you got your sign, and now you're looking for, where can I put this property so that as many buyers as possible can see it? And what we find is most of them go to Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or they go to some for sale by owner website that is a branded, here, put your listing here, or they go to the for sale by owner section of Zillow. Well, there's a bit of a problem with that. I mean, the Zillow for sale by owner section, in case you haven't looked lately, is essentially the back room. It's pretty hard to find. You know who's really good at finding it though? Realtors. Realtors can find those for sale by owner sections because that's where they get a lot of their leads. The problem with those websites I mentioned and Facebook marketplaces and things like that is that there are some buyers on there, but not all buyers are on there. That crowd is mostly made up of 6% agents who are prospecting, lowball investors, tire kickers, scammers, previewers, nosy neighbors, things like that. And the problem with that is, while you're dealing with all those things, other people on other places are selling to real buyers, and you're missing out because those buyers are not finding your listing. So you don't want to pay 6%, but how do you get on this massive highway, this information buyer super highway called the multiple listing service? Well, that is the game changer.